Hello, my name is Lyle Russwell. I've over here about 5,000 Facebook friends. I don't know, maybe 100. I normally communicate my social concerns through Facebook. But recently, I've gotten to the point that I had to get off the sidelines. I can no longer afford to just be complacent about where we are and where we need to go as a group in our society. And the only way to make change is to be part of that change. So I'm off the sidelines. I'm not really concerned if I offend anybody over the next 6, 7 months as I discuss different things. But right now, there's a couple things I need to say to get off my chest. One is, let's talk about LaDonald. He received 63 million votes in 2016. Everyone kept saying, well, he's not racist. Well, he is racist. Okay, let's fast forward to 2020, November the 3rd. If you or you know someone who vote for him, they are either racist or they are co-conspirators in the fact of racism, discrimination in our society. You can't vote for this person and not understand his agenda has nothing to do with America, but it's about himself. And then when he do have an agenda, it's about minimizing or marginalizing minorities, whether they're Mexicans, Asian, Hispanics, whatever the case may be. He don't care about us. So why should we vote for him? We shouldn't. In any state that do vote for him and he wins that state, that tells you everything you need to know about that state. If it's Oklahoma, which most likely he's going to carry, most likely going to carry Alabama. Texas is up for grabs, I think. Florida's up for grabs. Mississippi, Louisiana, all those southern states, the Virginias, the Carolinas, he could easily win those states. And some northern states as well. Because the reality is that when Lee surrendered to Grant, they just agreed to stop killing white people. They continue to kill us till today. So there's been a cold civil war going on that we've been fighting for 150 plus years. The war did not end for us. We did not receive total freedom. We transitioned into a quasi citizenship with a linkage to slavery because just because they call you an employee or an associate or a teammate and give you the ability to go home every day and then underpay you, give you slave wages, sure, you may call yourself an employee, but you're still a slave in the big picture. If you cannot move up the ladder to wealth in your generation and break those shackles of economic poverty, you're still a slave to the system, which is a whole nother question, another issue, because there's only two types of people in this world. Either you're a slave or you're master. There's no question about that. People can debate it, but it is the reality. You can deny who you are, like white people do. We're not slaves, but they are. There's no doubt about that. The issue is that they have more economic power than we have because they are paid more, not because they're more intelligent or superior, because it's tribalism. White people pay white people more money because they control the banks. They control all the wealth, so they can do that. And so white slaves are okay with it, like sharecroppers was okay with it in 1800s. You're still a sharecropper, except you go to a plant to produce something. but you're still a sharecropper. Just the name has changed. So we need to stay focused. And I'm writing a letter that I'll be sending out within a week or so, once I get some more addresses, to the Congress and to other black leaders across the country, because we need a national agenda. If there is a national agenda, no one ever told me about it. And if there's a national agenda, if there's not one, we need to develop one and very quickly. Because I think for the last 70 years, every Democratic president that's been elected was elected because of the black vote. Nothing is different this year. If Vice President Biden wins, he will win because of the black vote. There's no question about that. Political pundits know this. We know this. So if that's the case, he owes us something. So we need to know before we cast our vote in November, what is he giving the black community? Someone tell me, what is he going to give us? Black politicians, what are you asking? If you're not asking him to give us something for our vote, then you're derelict in your duties. The line had been drawn hundreds of years ago when it comes to what side is on who's on what side. The Civil War didn't answer that question. The divide was still there and it still continue to be there. We need politicians to step to the plate and really develop a national plan that we can all agree to, at least in principle, and move forward as a group in our society. Over the next couple of weeks and months, I'll be doing more postings, mostly talking about economic empowerment and education. Because those are two main points that we have to achieve over the next 20, 25 years to reap the benefits for the next generation. Because education is important. You got to be able to do the basics and get a career, whether it's trade or college, whatever the case may be. And then economically, right now we generate about $1.5 trillion annually through the black community. But yet, we own nothing. We'll tell you a quick story about a Jewish guy who befriended me some years ago. And we was downtown having lunch, a late lunch. And he was talking about his community. He's a Jewish guy, as I noted. They recycle about $1 7, 8 times in their own community. And this is how he said they do it. He was middle class. He's probably making $100,000 a year as a salesman. His doctor was Jewish. The grocery store he shopped at was Jewish owned. His nanny was Jewish. The landscaper was Jewish owned. The dentist he went to was Jewish. He hardly ever spent any money outside the Jewish community. And he only went to restaurants that were Jewishly owned. And the one that we were at, downtown Atlanta, was Jewish owned. That's how they roll. We need to roll just like that to be successful. Think about owning our own banks, not just a handful of banks that are small in numbers, but all the money we make and all the black athletes and the black businessmen. We shouldn't be doing any business with a white-owned bank. Not in the 21st century. How do you think Black Wall Street was developed? Because they were recycling their money. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, white folks got upset about it, burned it down, as we all know. We need to return to those principles. It's nothing new. We're not talking about reinventing the wheel or anything like that. We're just talking about coming together, pulling our resources, developing the black community. And it needs to happen in my generation. At least plant the seeds so our grandchildren, the baby boomers, grandchildren to reap the benefits of the planting that we do this generation. Because right now we haven't planted any seeds. We haven't even got the weeds up yet to even plant a garden about our future. So I will be talking more and more over the next 6-7 months about some of the subjects I mentioned in this video. I hope everyone can forward it. Send me your comments because movement needs to begin. Not just about police brutality and murder. It has to be a holistic approach to racism in our society. We can no longer just do this piecemeal. We need an agenda, bullet points, that states what we want to achieve and when we want to achieve it and how we're going to achieve it. And till we have a document like that, we just lost in the desert, hoping to find water from time to time. That's just the reality. It's called unity. Until we unite behind a common cause and everyone stay on the same plan for generation after generation after generation, adjusting it accordingly, we lost in the wilderness. We just bumping around in trees because we're like a lost ship in the ocean with no sails. We're not going anywhere. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. That's social reality. But I digress. I hope you can, as I mentioned, forward this and each one that I do over the next coming months, and feel free to contact me. Thanks.